Cyber Ninja Online, guys, and welcome back to a new game to my channel. This is Two Worlds 2 Castle Defense. Now, I know I don't have Two Worlds or Two Worlds 2 on my channel yet. I kind of do plan to do that in the future. I don't know how long into the future it will be, but at one point or another, I have played Two Worlds relatively recently, within the last year. I've played through and beat it. Two Worlds 2 I've never actually played through and beat. I never had it. My friend had it, and I played it at his house, and I liked the game. It was pretty solid. But this is Two Worlds 2 Castle Defense. Now I don't know why it's Two Worlds 2. It feels more of a Two Worlds, just Two Worlds type game like the first one, but in any case, yeah. So we're gonna be jumping into this here. We're gonna do the campaign and the arena mode. I'm gonna be playing on easy, only for the simple fact of normal requires precise placements and shit, and it can be pretty devastating. I mean, like, I've tried a couple times beforehand, and I was doing the Osworth one, and I kept dying on like the very last wave, and that's just heartbreaking, man. It would be different if I was getting my ass kicked like halfway through, but to be dying on like wave 15 to the last guy and just by stupid shit, it's discouraging. So anyways, I'm going to be playing on easy. I have played through this for the majority of the part before. I haven't actually beat Cemetery. I got to wave 15, and then the final, I guess you'd say, boss kind of killed me. So yeah. Before we jump into the actual campaign story mode type thing here, I'm going to knock off the arena first. It's just a bunch of challenges. It's kind of like the tutorial. This game actually has its own tutorial, but this is kind of like this. I guess you'd call it the basic training. So we're gonna do this. So arena challenge 1. It's a warm-up exercise. The biggest difference between easy, the difficulties, I guess I should say, is the money you start with and the money you get from killing enemies. I'm not entirely sure that the enemies actually get harder, but I know you end up facing more. Well, sorry, I don't even know where I'm going with that. I don't know if the enemies get harder, and I don't know if lost my train of thought. I don't know if you actually fight more, but I do know that you get less money. Like, you start out with less money, and you get less money for killing enemies. For the majority of my gameplay, I will be playing on the double speed, just to speed it up. The game's actually relatively slow on normal speed, I think it's called, or just play, I guess. So I'm gonna be playing on double speed and just playing it through. Basically, this is like a tower defense. You gotta protect your well, in this case, you gotta protect your captain or your king, whoever you may have on your team. This right here is the wave counter. So this is attack 2 of 5, wave 2 of 5. This shows you how many monsters you're gonna have this wave. This is the money you have. This is the total value of your money and all your units put together. And then, if you notice at the very beginning, blue squares are just like default placements. Red ones actually give health bonus. So when you see these, the red ones are the health bar. The red number is the health. Yellow number is the power. When you click on a character, teleport lets them move your characters around. So I can actually teleport and move this guy from here over to there. Conceal just hides them, which is good for ambushing. So if I could have a guy here and they come through, I could hide them, and then once they're actually over here, I could reveal him, and then he'll actually start attacking. This is upgrading health. That's upgrading power. That's the cell. Obviously, that's the pause, play, and double speed button. This is just it takes you back to the main menu. And then obviously there's different types of characters, or different types of towers, units, whatever you want to call it. These are your basic infantry. They're like swordsmen. They're warriors, I think, is the actual proper name. Then you have archers, which are the long range. This is the captain there. Captains can be either long ranged or melee combat. This one's actually long range. We just unlocked another guy, so I'm going to place him down real quick. We unlocked the priest, and the priest is the healer. Anyone in this blue aura circle here, it's kind of hard to see. Any one of my units in that, he'll heal. And then obviously that's their area of attack. So if anything steps into this blue circle, he'll attack it. Anything comes in this blue circle, he'll shoot it, you know. All the basic stuff. Gonna start upgrading. You'll notice that when I upgrade, their color will change. That's the health one. And then their weapons will change. So he actually has a better shield now. And that's the power one. So if you watch on this guy, health, you won't really see it with his bow because the bows don't change. But like for these guys, you'll see they get better shields and better weapons. So eventually he won't have a mace. He'll have a sword. Then I believe it's an axe after that. So let's pick this up now. But yeah, this should be a short little Let's Play series on my channel here. It's not going to be anything too long. I kind of just want to knock off some shorter and smaller titles for right now. So that's what I plan to do. When I do jump back into stuff though, I do want to do the rest of the Bioshock series, being Bioshock 2 and Infinite. I do want to do as much of the Assassin's Creed series as I can. So I just finished number 1. If you guys haven't seen that, you can go check that out on my channel. I do plan to do 2. I've played all the way up to Brotherhood with the exception of 2. I've never actually played 2, so that will be interesting. Anyways, I'm going to upgrade his power right now, so you'll see he actually gets a sword now. So it's kind of neat how they did that, how they upgraded their appearance when you upgrade the unit itself. I think that's pretty cool. It's usually the small details that developers take in game that actually make it just a slightly better game than most. This is still not the greatest game, but it's decent enough. I mean, you can definitely sit down and play it for a while. It does have challenges within, and I don't mean like actual challenges like kill this many guys on a turn or have no one die, but I mean like when you put it on normal, it's actually a lot harder. You wouldn't be like running through the waves like I am right now. But regardless, if this was on normal right now, I'd still be running through the waves because the arena is actually fairly easy. But once you get into the actual core game, it really starts to change and you really see it. For now, because there's no defense or anything, I'm upgrading everything on everyone, so their health too. Normally I wouldn't really worry about upgrading Archer's health or even at that matter of Priest's health, but because they're so exposed, I just figured it's better to upgrade everyone. So right now we're on wave 4 and I started off with 25 enemies. I already killed 5 of them, 6 of them. So we're doing pretty good. And enemy units have their own different types too. So they'll have their warriors, their archers, their priests, stuff like that. Okay, this is the final wave, so let's go ahead and upgrade all we can here. Let's let it roll. And usually at the end of every attack wave, or every set, so this is a 5 attack set. So at the end of the 5th one, you'll see the boss. That's the boss. You can also see enemy health and enemy power if you just look at them. And then this is direct attacks. This one's slow down, that's fire, and that's lightning. And direct attacks obviously just do direct damage to the enemy, so. Not gonna submit score, so we're gonna jump into challenge 2 here. Is that your best shot? So again, just another 5 attacks. I didn't read this at first, so I should probably read this. Training area. Training elite Imperial soldiers isn't easy. It requires years of preparation and practice. When ready, recruits are taken to their final test by Emperor Gondahar himself. Only those who survive are deemed worthy of being called Imperial elites. That little spiel right there is the same on everyone. We have veteran warriors. Basically, they just they're warriors that just start out a little bit better. We also have necromancers. They're basically used just to slow down enemies. I'm not actually gonna use them. I rarely ever do, but if I was going to, that's what you use them for, to slow down enemies. I might as well go ahead and put some units there for now. I plan to have different units there, but for the time being, I just won't upgrade the ones in the back there. And you can see the difference. They just started off as blue instead of red, and they cost a little bit more. So they're just overall better too. Let's start. But yeah, that's the huge difference between the difficulties is starting cash and cash you earn. Because I believe when you do the arena and you start out on this level, you don't have nearly as much cash as I just started with. So I think I would have enough cash to put down one of all the units and then that's it. Whereas in easy, you have like this abundant of cash there. Archers are pretty good to have, especially if they're behind some sort of wall that enemies can't get to, because then it's just, they're unstoppable. So we're gonna go ahead and sell. I can't remember what the quick button, okay, it is that one. And then get our priests up. Go ahead and keep working on our guys here. I am gonna upgrade the priest's health because they're kind of at an odd part here where they can just kind of get sideswiped. So. But again, normally I wouldn't increase the priest's health, and I usually never increase the archer's health either, unless they're in positions where it's just they're gonna take damage no matter what type thing. Then it's like okay. So we got Royal Guardians now. I don't think we got them in the last one. I'll basically show you what they are. So basically what they are, there's a really souped up version of guards. So take this guy for instance. He has 3,000 health and 300 power at level 5. So he's fully upgraded now. This guy right here wants that attack 3 fades. There we go. This guy right here, 2,000 health and 400 power. So he's already tougher than this fully upgraded soldier with just a little bit less health. So they're worth getting. I don't know if I want a whole, you know what, we might as well. Let's go for it. Let's go ahead and I decided to trade all my guys in for Royal Guardians, just because they're a better unit, a better melee unit than the base soldiers, even at max health, so, or even at max level, sorry. So there we go. We're on attack 4. Of all these guys as much as I can. Let's keep on leveling the outer, these guards here. We'll actually get to see the final unit type that I haven't showed you guys yet. We'll unlock it in the next wave, so. Or not. I lied to you guys. I guess we'll see him next next challenge. Upgrade our captain a little bit more there. Because this is the last wave, I'm only upgrading the things that really matter. So if I upgrade his attack, that will help a lot. Upgrade these guys' healing capabilities. Not that I'm really in a risk of dying, but there's the boss, I guess you'd say. Just like that, he died. That was a really good second challenge. Let's jump into challenge 3 here. I'm gonna make a scarf from that furry tail. Jump into it. Ace warriors are now at your disposal. Let's go ahead and line this up. Get our troops ready. Guess I'll upgrade everyone. The reason I'm not upgrading him is because I know I'm going to get a priest relatively soon, so I'm just going to leave that spot for the priest. These are different enemies, but they still have the same enemy type, so they'll still have necromancers like that guy right there, base warriors. It's another enemy type, but they're still just warriors. So there's the priest I was talking about. Let's go ahead and sell that. Get up the priest. We'll continue on upgrading. We're gonna see all these different enemy types later in the game. That's why I say this is kind of like the basic training sort of thing. So you get to see all the enemy types, learn how to use your own troops and whatnot. The only thing this doesn't really take into consideration is the environment. So on a lot of levels there are gonna be walls and stuff you can hide archers behind and whatnot, so only difference here. Necromancer, that's probably going to be the only thing you don't see. I might use them on the final stage, but besides that, speed this up. We'll focus on going hard on our priest now. So we got Royal Guardians. So let's go ahead and throw down some more Royal Guardians now. Let's upgrade these guys. Upgrade those guys. Finally start working on our Royal Guardians now. Also, another thing to note, that right there is a automatic heal button. So basically, if they're taking damage and I need to heal them, I can just hit that button. You'll see me use that on my captain, but I'm not really going to use it on my troops that much. If my troops die, they die. They don't permanently die. When a troop dies, they'll be incapacitated for a little bit. And you'll see a blue bar go up like this one, and it'll just load up and it'll tell you what percent it's at. When it hits 100%, the guy will revive, so it's not a huge deal. So we got fire mages. These are the best range units you can get. I'm gonna go ahead and show those off for you guys. Basically, they're pretty OP range units. Like these guys are pretty OP ground units. So they're good. This is wave 5, so I'm not gonna bother too much on certain things. Probably go for another power upgrade on Gandahar. You might have missed it, but that big giant scorpion that was over here is kind of like the boss. Has a shit ton of health, so I think I'll show you direct attacks as soon as I see another boss here. Okay, so this one right here is lightning. It zaps them and does lightning damage, does a lot. This one here is fire, lights them on fire. Fortunately, he died. This one right here is a to slow down. I don't. Okay, I don't know if that's the same thing. They all have cooldowns, so most of them you can't use for a minute later. The slowdown you can't use till 45 seconds after, I'm pretty sure. That was level 3 though, so let's jump into level 4. The bigger they are. Elite warriors are now at my disposal. They give me the good stuff right off the bat. Go ahead and upgrade Gandahar. I don't actually think that's Gandahar, sorry, but upgrade the guy. We'll work on these guys. I just have these archers here temporary until I get my priests. So once I get my priests, I'm gonna throw down the priests, and then yeah. Like I said, the arena modes don't really have, the arena challenges, sorry, don't really have any sense of distress, sense of a loss. You can lose, but I don't think it's easy to lose if you know what you're doing. However, once you start in the campaign, then it's real. Like, you could just lose if you're not, you know, half decent and paying attention and whatnot, so you always got to be mindful of that. Upgrading the Royal Guardians a little bit more. And same thing goes for Royal Guardians and Fire Mages and all that. When you upgrade a lot of their stuff, you'll see it on them, so you'll see the weapons upgrade, the health upgraded within their armor, and yada yada. The only thing that don't actually visually get upgraded is your captains. So there we go, we got our priests now. So I can go ahead and scrap these archers. Get my priests in here. Keep hitting the wrong buttons. Start working on our fire mages now. Once you get like fire mages leveled up a lot, they do insane amount of damage. They can like hit 2-hit guys. Also depends on what kind of unit you're fighting too, but there we go. Attack 3 is over, so we're on attack 4 now. I'm gonna upgrade his attack, these guys' healing abilities, and then go for my troops after the fact. They have a shit ton of health. They have 12,000 health, 1,800 power. So they're good, needless to say. Now, this is the only problem really in this game, is when you have priests on the map and they're out of reach from any unit, and they sit back and heal one unit, and you only have like one guy fighting them, then unless you use a what is it called? Direct attack, it's basically just gonna be like that for the rest of the game, or for the rest of the round, I guess you'd say. So attack 5, final attack. I'm gonna save the rest of my my currency for the boss. These guys are really tough too. I think they're like iron golems or something. I didn't see a boss there, so they must have compensated with a lot of those guys. But needless to say, we still won. We just did that one, right? Yeah, we just did that one. So challenge 5: play with dead. The final challenge in this arena mode, and then we'll finally be done. Let's go ahead and we'll build a perimeter of those guys, a couple of them, and we'll do one of him. Now I know some of the enemy types here, like these guys that were just up, they're ghouls. These guys right there are called ghouls. They're relatively annoying though. Well, at least in the first game, they would. Whenever you get hit by them in the first game, they would poison you. Poison's not a huge deal in the first game, but it was just still annoying. So there we go. Attack 2 is done. We're on attack 3 now. Finally start upgrading my Royal Guardians here. To the best of my abilities anyways. But yeah, a lot of these I think are from Two Worlds 2. I don't recognize those guys whatsoever. Those are just random skeletons. Specifically, these guys aren't in the first game. Neither of these guys, like, they don't have skeletons that will do that, but they do have skeletons in the first game. I don't know what these guys are called either. Don't recognize them. So we're on attack 4 now. Hit the speed up button. Don't recognize these guys either. So like I said, a lot of these guys must be from Two Worlds 2, but I feel that's all that really come from the game. These guys are strong as fuck, by the way. Alright, we're on the final wave here. So let's upgrade as much as I can. And then we'll go from there. I'm going to keep the last little bit for when I find the boss. Now, surprisingly, these aren't the boss, even though they have a shit ton of health. Priests can be pretty annoying, like I said. These things aren't too bad. They're annoying when they're shooting at your guys from a longer range, but they're not that bad. This guy right here, remember him because he might be the one kicking my ass in the final mission. Let's go ahead and use all of our abilities on him. while we wait for the recharge, and then I can smack him with another ability. And he's dead. Perfect. And there we go. We're done. That was the arena challenges. So I'm sorry I didn't show you any of the core missions here. I just felt like I should probably get the arena over and done with. Relatively easy, and it's just kind of out of the way, so it doesn't really pertain to the story, and I didn't want to do the story first and then go back to the arena. I just felt like it was a better flow to do the arena first. So yeah. Anyways, that's going to be all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like. If you have anything to say, comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe and share, as it really helps me out. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you later. Bye.